let's talk about this real quick.
Yeah.
Look, like I've seen most of these. Um, I mean, I've seen every Marvel movie that they've made in the last, especially these last 11 years, right? Under the Marvel Studios, and it's I'm looking now at Rotten Tomatoes, which I trust like I trust a fucking hemorrhoid being like part of my body, but like seriously, they got a 96% on tomato meter, but you think like that's hella cool,
You really have to
but
say tomato meter?
that's what it's called, tomato meter. But like,
So wait,
what?
so you let me get this straight. You're calling it Rotten Tomatoes, but it's a tomato meter.
Hey man, the saying is a tomato. I get to choose when and where I fucking say
I'm
tomato
gonna tell
tomato.
you why this conversation's already not going good, because you got your I'm live on the air voice, dude. Like, we can't do that. This needs to be just like it was when I talked to you in the car, and you said all the things that we don't want to say in public. But all right, so
Well, listen, Black Panther got like a 99,
a
and this gets a
99 like percent,
96.
like,
Yeah, and that
dude,
movie is
that
like,
movie, for me, I'm gonna give that movie like a like like a like a 30%. Like, I liked it. I mean, I understand the rating systems aren't, they're not exactly.
look,
It's based on
I
how many
know
people will
people
give it a
rated
positive.
that without even watching it. Straight up like that. That had to be like, oh yeah, that's. I'll give it a 100, sure. Like I know people didn't fucking watch because if you watch the last the third act looked like it was from a fucking PlayStation 2 game, and it was like they ran out of money. It was like you've seen that drawing of the horse where it starts out like the ass of the horse looks perfect, it's all drawn great, and then like it
No,
comes to the head,
what are you
and the head's
talking
like drawn
about?
by a 2-year-old. Oh, it's a famous. I gotta show you when we're together. But like, it's they use this meme for a lot of stuff where it starts really nice and it ends like shit. It's like somebody drew a horse, and the butt of the horse is like perfectly drawn, like a
Why am I
really good
listening to
artist.
this? It's
And then
ridiculous.
the it gets to the head, and it's like just it's a stick figure. It's just it's just like
That's that. I
they
don't
ran
know.
out of budget.
I honestly don't know
Basically,
why
it
I'm listening to
started
this.
good. It had a lot of promise, but the characters sucked. I mean, Michael B. Jordan was amazing. He should have just been the fucking dude, like straight up. But
Well,
anyways,
Michael B. Jordan is an amazing actor. Obviously, you and I are big fans of Creed, and I think he's phenomenal. But listen, uh, well, what's the whole point? Why do we want to do this? We
my
want
my
to.
whole thing is like, look, it's already got a 96, and I believe that merit because of everybody I've looked at, and I haven't gone. I'm gonna go tomorrow night. Um, every tweet I've seen
Okay,
about it, people are like going crazy.
here's the thing about those ratings. From my understanding, and you could correct me if I'm absolutely wrong. I could be like entirely wrong. But to my knowledge, those fresh tomatoes is just how many people gave it a generally favorable review. It's not about if on a scale of 0 to 100, how good do you think this movie is? 96. No, it's like if you do like in school, if you got like a 60 in the state of Nevada, 60% correct answers on your test, you pass the test. So to me, it might. What is a passing grade on Rotten Tomatoes? What gives it a fresh rating? Is it 50%? If you get like, I don't understand. You know what I mean? Like, what
Do
is?
they rate it 1 through 10? Do
How
they
do
just
they
do like
even
five
qualify
stars?
what is a favorable review? What is a favorable review? Because I don't even think, like, to me, no, like, dude, Black Panther is like, on a scale of 0 to 100, that's like a good like 15. Like, that's how much I liked. Maybe a 20. A 20.
I give it a C minus. It's not like horrible. I'm just my
I'd
only
give
thing
it.
is like
I
they
might give. No,
rated
I
it too
wouldn't give it a
high.
passing grade. I wouldn't give it a passing grade. I didn't think it was very good. So let's just, you know what? This is very unorganized. So we're just gonna go and do the whole point. What did you want to do here? Are we
So
talk? Are
well,
we
you
talking?
you
We'll
brought
title
this up.
this later. Do The new movie is coming out tonight. The Avengers Endgame. So this is a preview and a prediction, as well as we're going to review all of Marvel as a summary leading up to this. We're going to talk
I
or
think we
what?
should just be real. Let's be real. Robert Ortiz hates fucking Marvel
No.
because he likes. Let me go. Here's you, okay? And I used to be the same way. I just kind of had to like get over it. But Dark Knight definitely showed every movie, like comic book movie, like, dude, this can be done. You can do this with a comic book movie. You can make it real gritty. You can make it actually very
Dark Knight's one of
realistic.
the top 2 best movies of all time, period.
Yeah, you take it with that. That's a comic book movie, but you can also take the other side. That's just a good fucking movie. But you also like have to put like they used the most realistic comic book guy you could find, and they put it in just like a. It was perfectly written, directed,
Well,
filmed,
because dude, like
everything.
I understand superhero movies, you're gonna use your imagination. You call me a hater. I don't call myself a hater. Originally, we wanted to review the Avengers, the first one, and then review like all the Avengers leading up to the new movie, right? And the end game. So I
But
I'm
I'm
not
just
gonna
saying,
rant all
you're
those because they're
coming,
not
you're
worth the
coming
money to
from a
me. Just
you're
just
coming from a status where, okay, this can't be topped. So what's the point of all these fucking bullshit other comic book movies in my
no,
life?
you're being obnoxious, and I'll tell you why. Because there's certain standards and criteria. Once you see something and once you enjoy something, and there's other things that don't hit all those senses that one particular work of art hit. Yeah, you have this sort of rating in your head of saying it's not as good as that. Doesn't mean you can't enjoy it. So we can let's just go back to the beginning of Marvel, right? Or not the beginning of Marvel, but let's go back to the beginning of Avengers. Avengers, the first one. I was gonna rewatch it, but man, I can't even find time. Doing the stay-at-home dad thing right now, and there's just no time. And I ain't gonna rent it again. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. That's what I was gonna say. You were gonna call me a hater, but I enjoyed it. I remember the end fight scene. I remember the beginning where they're just kind of fighting and all this stuff and Loki and like this is what I can't get over, man. Everyone in the universe speak English. You know what I mean? Like wherever the hell he's from, he's like he speaks English, low key, and like but what's cool about Iron Man is he points that out and he makes fun of them. He goes, "Oh yeah, are we doing Shakespeare in the Park or something?" Because he points out how the two brothers, Thor and Loki, they sound all Shakespearean and shit. Like, why do they do that? Why do they have to sound? It's ridiculous. It's absurd. But
They
they're from
should
outer.
speak Norse because they're Norse gods.
They're from outer space. And
Well,
listen, what the hell kind of superhero? What
they're
tell me?
Viking
No, no, no,
gods.
no, no. Tell me what kind of superhero? Their power is God. Like, are you kidding me? Come on,
Well, yeah, some of
God,
that Marvel kind of was like out of ideas and like, let's
God.
just use already
Did you ever play paper
mythology.
rock scissors? Ready? Paper rock. God. Like, I win.
Dynamite.
But yet he doesn't. But yet he doesn't win. Ridiculous. That you
I
lost
always
me.
thought the same thing as like kind of like lazy. Like let's just take
Stupid.
Norse mythology. I mean, you're supposed to. The whole thing of comic book guys is to design new comic book guys. But you know, Thor, because of Chris Hemsworth, he's a fucking awesome character now. Like that's what's
No,
cool
he's
about
not.
Marvel.
No, he's not.
Nah, dude. Nah, dude.
Let's. All right.
He
How about that?
developed.
Look, all right. Let's because I feel like since we're recording this, people are gonna be listening. We got to actually have a bit of a structure here. I have something.
Here,
I
well,
have
let me
something.
let me kind of say with
All right. I'll let you
with
finish up.
what Marvel has done because Sony kind of stole. They stole Spider-Man, and they weren't really allowed to use a lot of the characters. They've built these side guys into mega stars like a Thor because of the actors
No.
they choose and you don't like it that it's 11 years, but because they have that much time to really hone in who their character is, they have these characters on lockdown.
All right, Jordan.
You know?
Let's talk about, because we're right now what we're doing is a preview for Avengers Endgame. We're gonna predict some things that might happen. We're gonna talk about what we might want to see and whatnot. Let's go ahead and let's talk about the last Avengers movie. What was it called? Infinity War. Avengers Infinity War. Okay, so let's go back and let's review that one. Let's talk about that one because it'll set up Endgame, right? So here's I'm gonna set some ground rules for you. All right. So yeah. All right. We're gonna review this movie. You tell me whether you liked it or not and why you liked it. But here are the ground rules. You are not allowed to use the following phrases. 1, and I'm using air quotes, you can't see me, in the comic. 2, in the book. 3, in the next one. 4, in the origin movie. All right? You are not allowed to use any of those phrases. You are not.
I honestly have
hold
not
on. You are not allowed to use other movies to determine the quality of the film being discussed. If I'm talking about Avengers Infinity War, you are not allowed to talk about another movie to justify that this movie is good. We are only talking about Infinity War. Okay. There are no such thing as prequels and sequels. You cannot use books with the same name to determine how good the movie is. Okay, now that we've set the ground rules for rating this movie, how did you feel about Infinity War?
Infinity War is by far my favorite Marvel film to date. Hands down.
You call me a hater, I would have to agree.
Easily. I mean, dude, just the technology of where we've come to have something so beautiful. In
case you didn't get the theme of my entire ground rules that I just laid out, you're not allowed to use other pieces of art to determine the quality of this one. So you start off by saying it's my favorite Marvel movie. We're not talking about other Marvel movies. We're talking about this Marvel movie. Okay? So go ahead.
Well, I think you can't do that with Marvel.
Because
Marvel Studios, dude, listen to the Russo brothers talk about their goodbyes because they're done after this last one. This is like a fucking bigger than one movie event, and in the history of films, we were actually pretty lucky, man, to have this much content.
No, we're not
under one universe. Like Star Wars did it. No. Listen,
Star Wars is terrible
movies.
Too.
They did it with 3 movies, and they did it. I mean, they've done with 3 movies. They've done decades worth of fandom. Like, I mean, did it bigger than Avengers. But look, for having shitloads of movies, but in 11-year span, they have created something huge. And then to have it all tie together and wrap up, and who would sit and edit all that shit?
You're still talking about other movies.
Amazing.
You're talking about other movies. I'm asking you for opinion on Infinity War. You still can't give me one.
I love Infinity War.
Okay, there you go. What did you love about it?
I loved everybody together in the same movie. It was fucking awesome. I love the interactions.
It's the movie. Like why is it? It's those are the characters of the movie.
But they're payoffs, bro. You know, you can't deny that. You know, the Guardians of the Galaxy's meeting up with Thor was fucking awesome because you know him from other movies. There's no way to not have that in your mind when you watch it.
No. I don't watch movies like that. Did you watch
Guardians of the Galaxy before you
Hell yeah, Guardian of the Galaxy was sick.
Okay.
Love that movie.
And you know Thor, right?
I've seen a couple Thor movies, yes. What does that have to do with Infinity War?
When they met up and the two Chris's met, and Chris, Jurassic Park Chris, tried to imitate Chris
Hemsworth and
Hemsworth,
Pratt.
And Pratt tried to imitate Hemsworth with his voice and shit. That shit was amazing. Like, what a fucking, it was awesome. And they're like, that's a man. That's what a man looks like. I'm a man, and he just does this whole stick with them. I mean, dude, like little things like that. Just like
Those were
it's
all
just like
cute parts.
it's
I liked it.
fan payoff. This is what's called a little bit of payoff for being a fan. So
I
those
liked.
things are fun.
I liked watching it, but I didn't like it because it was on another movie.
Well, I mean, if you just, I don't know how to see it blind. To be honest with you, it's pretty interesting. I'd love to hear someone's take who did see it completely blind. But I think that would only
You're
be
talking
like
to him. You're talking. I'm gonna give you my take
Nah,
in
you've
just a
seen
second.
all the Marvel movies.
But that's irrelevant. I can watch it objectively.
No, you can't.
I can watch
No,
it.
you
I
can't.
absolutely
You can't
can watch
forget
it
what you've
objectively.
Can't forget what you've seen.
I've,
You can't just walk in and be
yes,
like,
I
"Oh,
can.
I'm gonna delete part of my brain, drop the trash bin and erase." You can't do that shit.
It's I just leave it completely like I'm just watching one movie. So
I do.
hey, here's
Anyways, so let me. So
go,
okay,
go
cool.
ahead.
So there's some fan payoffs. and it's
You
fun at
still
the
haven't.
beginning.
First of all, you still haven't even talked about the plot. You hadn't
No,
talked
no,
about the
I'm getting
quality
there.
of the
So-
writing.
so the
You haven't
beginning-
talked about the
beginning-
quality of the acting. You haven't talked about anything. All you've talked about is let's just put a bunch of characters together as though that somehow surmises a good story.
I'm saying that's the first, when it first hits. That's kind of where you're at with all these new interact. But
You ever
what
been to a
happens-
football game? A live football game, like an NFL game?
I've never been to NFL, but I've been to a lot of college.
Well, in NFL, because they have commercial breaks, you have these amazing stars, dude. You got there, like I went to a Lions and Vikings game. There's Adam Thielen, dude, who was killing it on my fantasy. There's Matt Stafford, and there's just all these stars just right there, and these Goliaths of linemen, and they're in the commercial break. They just kind of stand there, and it's like, okay, like they're just standing around. Like that's not exciting. You want to see the play. You want to see what's gonna happen. You want to see what is he gonna do. Is he gonna pass it? He's gonna throw a long ball. Like those things are exciting.
So
During the
let's
commercial,
talk
they're just
about-
sitting around picking their ass. But you, for some reason, just because they're on the field together, I loved it. That's absurd to me.
Dude, they're interacting. I mean, there's a lot of funny shit and cool stuff. No, but let's get to the meat of that movie. Is this bad guy who is on this mission to do something
To save the
pretty
universe,
radical.
right? To save the
In a weird way, it's noble. It's probably the most noble bad guy intention stuff I've ever seen. Because typically, bad guys are trying to.
You better not. That
rob
better
a-
not be you taking a piss.
No, it's a TV.
No, it's
You
not
know,
the TV.
Usually, bad guys are hell bent on world
Disgusting.
domination, or like.
I don't even know if it's illegal. Like, well, you're peeing.
Bank
Like, I'm
rob- you know,
recording
like-
this.
Like
I
bank
hear the
robberies and
toilet
shit.
flushing.
That's not a toilet.
There and
That's
there
the
and
air conditioner.
is that your argument right there? Just being flushed down the fucking toilet. Is that
No,
what's-
so he's what a noble. This is like pretty radical, man. That the bad guy is doing something pretty noble in a way, but the noble way of doing it is genocide. I mean, who determines who lives, who dies? Random. He's not gonna fucking die, And what he goes through to get to these stones kills the only person he's ever had kind of feelings for, and I mean, just so much crazy shit. And then how the movie ends up happening, and he still gets the snap off. They can't defeat him. Half the population dies. It ends on such a. I remember because I had no idea when I went into this. No one spoiled shit for me. I went in and I saw that ending. I was like, "What the fuck? What is this? I've never. Nobody's supposed to. This isn't supposed to happen in a fucking popcorn, fan favorite, Marvel movie.
Jordan.
What the shit?
Jordan, I call bullshit.
What?
I call bullshit.
You call bullshit on what?
You weren't thinking that. What is this? Wow, how does this end? Bullshit.
No, dude,
You
that's
were
exactly
no
what I thought.
bullshit. You were never once thinking that, and I'll tell you why. Because you can't watch the movie objectively. You have to think about everything before and everything of what's to come, of what you predict Endgame will be. And this is why I have issues with this movie, okay? Because no, you know what? I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna start mine now. I'll give you my take on the last film, Infinity War. All right. First of
Okay.
all, your noble villain take. This is why I went from hating the movie for the first hour. I'm like, oh man, this is dragging. To well, it was cool. It was exciting. It's a popcorn flick. I got a day off on the road. I just had a lot of good food. I'm eating a bunch of candy. This is great. I'm enjoying this right now. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna go eat more later. And I was enjoying it. I really was. It was building. It was suspenseful, and who's gonna win this fight and that kind of thing is really. It was pretty intense, man. I'll admit, and I enjoyed it as it went on. There was a lot of characters I didn't get. That like, who the hell's that guy? Who the hell's that guy? Who the hell's that guy? Okay, whatever. But when I walked away from the whole thing at the end, I said, "Damn, that's a hell of an ending," and I viewed it two ways. I viewed it objectively as its solo standalone piece, and I viewed it as part of the saga, the Marvel universe, right? The way you watch it as a chapter in a series. I watched it both ways. I couldn't help it. But what really captivated me and made me want to, like, made me go from liking the movie to really liking it, really loving it, was that concept of the villain that you said. He's not a noble villain. In fact, the only villain that I know of in history who isn't trying to do something noble in some sort of way or some sort of selfish survival aspect is the one with the, yeah, I mean, if people are only listening, they can't see, but I always talk about him, is Heath Ledger's rendition of the Joker, which is Anarchy, who just does. Just, there's no rhyme or reason. He just wants to just watch the world burn, as Alfred said. Other than that, every villain, even throughout human history, and you look through every other type of bad guy scenario, be it a realistic rendition on TV or on a movie or a completely fantasy thing such as Marvel, there's always some sort of cause. And that's what makes them even more evil, is knowing that they're doing something bad for what they deem the sake of something good. You know, I'm sure, you know, if you look throughout history, you'll find that all these evil people were doing something in what in their mind they believed was going to help. And that makes it even scarier. That makes them even more of a bad guy.
Sometimes some people just want. Usually it's selfish reasons, man. Usually you're bad because you want to, you want to rob a bank because you want money.
Because
You're
you
not trying
want
to, like,
money, because you want to
not
survive.
doing it
You
for a
want
political
cool shit.
statement.
No, but you want cool shit. But okay, but even
What
then,
did Thanos
but then,
have
but
to
then,
gain from this?
but that
He didn't have
crime,
anything to gain
that
except
crime
just,
is less evil when because it's based on ignorance. The true evil comes when you do something when you believe you're doing it for a good reason. That's when it actually becomes true evil. It's not just ignorant or a type of survival or some kind of thing, or just being an ignorant kid who just kind of wants to have a lot. This guy thinks he's helping the universe. He thinks he's helping. Dude, with that kind of power, like, you can't just like build like some kind of other planet of some sort, or I guess they're gonna overtake everything. You know what I mean? What about, if we're talking about series and sagas, what about the guy who freaking with the patch or whatever that made planets? Like, why can't he just make another? You know what I mean? Like, with all your super crazy powers, call that guy and say, hey, help me make a planet. We're running out of room for fucking everything in the universe. That's crazy. So I don't know. I thought he was a good guy at first. I was like, oh, cool. He's going to be completely fair, and he's going to balance the order of the universe.
It's not a bad proposition.
You know what I mean?
You could make a whole another planet full of more resources. But the thing is, he was going around to planet to planet, killing half the people manually because his planet Titan just got destroyed because they ran out of resources. So he's like hell bent on that. But he's thinking like, dude, this is gonna take forever because he's wanting to go on the galaxy level, and he's ignorant to what actually is going on because who knows on the galaxy spectrum that we really are running out of resources. You know, when he's presented with a few planets. So, anyways, he's crazy, and somehow they allow him to get all the fucking, you know, the stones. And I mean, it's a pretty crazy, far-fetched little idea that someone could give these 5 stones and then wield the power of the universe.
Dragon Ball, you know, like Lord of the Rings. I mean, you know what I mean? And just real quick, the girls are upstairs. They're getting a bath and they're getting crazy. Oh Lord. Oh, they just walked in. No, yeah, I'm recording. I'm recording.
What doing? Hey Molly. Hey Miley.
Oh man, Can you lock it? Like, just do it through the inside, cause I got all kinds of cords plugged in. They're like, dude, they're like the Velociraptors on Jurassic Park. They learned how to open doors. It's like, oh my gosh, but they're climbing on the counters and stuff, and they could just reach. Like, dude, it's ridiculous. Like, it's terrible twos. I understand it. I really do. But
Lennon knows how to unlock doors.
Oh my gosh,
dude, it's over.
They're Velociraptors, dude.
Yeah, he's you know what though? It serves him right, man. He's been traumatized at least 2 times, and he deserves it.
Yeah, and I remember.
You gotta know, bro.
I can't remember the comedian's name, and he was talking about how there's just nothing sacred once you have kids, and he was like sitting on the toilet, and then he's just like trying to take a dump, and his little girl walks in or something, like, "Daddy, read me the story." Like, I'm sitting there reading freaking Humpty Dumpty or whatever. Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. And like, I gotta find which comedian that was. He was great, man. And like, I laughed then, but now it's just perfect. Like, I can't, like, how many times they come in, close the door. Okay, Dad. Like, jeez. Yeah, and you're scared to lock the door because what if something happens? You know what I mean? It's just, you got to be able to just jump out quick or something. It's weird. Anyways, but yeah, so if you hear them in the background, that's what's going on. But yeah, dude. So here's the thing with those Infinity Stones, right? This is why I'm at a juxtaposition. Because on one hand, there was not a lot of character development in this movie. There are so many characters that we don't get a chance to find out anything about them. I have no emotional attachment to any of these characters. I don't really know who they are. The only one that I actually get a bit of insight is the main guy, Thanos. He's the only one who we kind of seem to follow, and he's got all these difficult choices to make. He's got this power, and he's saying he's determined that he's gonna be the one. He's the guy that's gonna restore order in the whole universe and balance it out. No emotion, boom, just completely at random. So that is a crazy thing, and we see how much of a toll it's taking on him, and he has to like figure out how to deal with that and try to accomplish this plan. Because everyone else is going to be selfish and want to save their own family and all that kind of stuff. Or everyone's going to survive, and eventually you run out of resources and everything implodes after a while. And so he's determined to be that guy. But it's like you're going through all that, and who are all these other supposed good guys, characters? What are they all about? Like, who's the red guy with the other Olsen?
Red Skeleton.
Who's that guy? And here's when I jumped off. When I was gonna love this movie because of that ending, when you just kill everyone and the bad guy wins. What? That's crazy. That's a twist. I didn't see that coming at all. I was like,
nobody did. I didn't.
Damn, that's sick. You know. And the part of me that goes objectively with no like, there's no before or after prequels or sequels. This is just it. Goes, damn, they did that. That's crazy. You just smoked all these fools, dude. Let's just turn them all to dust. Iced all them. And that's to me that was sick. And then there's the realistic observer that knows this is part of a saga or a series in general. And that stupid red thing. Back in time, Stone. Fuck you. The everything that's great about this movie could just be undone in the next one. So this movie's actually pointless because this Back in Time Stone is just gonna go ahead and bring everyone back to life. Come on, man.
Who has
Come
the time
on.
stone?
And
Who's got the time stone?
well, Thanos has it now.
Okay.
All right, so game over, right?
I guess. I don't know, I honestly do not look. I have not read the comics on this because I don't want to know. I want to fucking watch it. I just want, like, I choose the media form of watching it in fucking gnarly ass CGI, and that's how I want to view it. I'd rather see that than on the pages. Yeah. Sometimes the pages are better, but I doubt.
Come on, right? Man. We all want to watch movies, dude.
We want to see this shit.
I don't
know how it plays off, man.
If I score this movie 3 different ways. One, as a standalone piece by itself, that movie was really good. Like, I'd go a C+. I enjoyed it. It made me. What?
That's an A.
Oh!
It's a goddamn.
No. Wait, stop it. You're not even letting me finish. There's 3 ways to score this. As a standalone, you know what? A C-, maybe even a D, because it was really boring and we didn't get to know everyone. I didn't know what was really at stake because I had no emotional attachment. That's one, but it was still enjoyable and made me think a couple things. Cool. And 2, as a series that ends with that movie, if everything about the Marvel Universe ended with Infinity War, A+++. The best comic book movie ever. Yup. Above Dark Knight. Yup. Best comic book movie ever. If you stop Infinity War. If you include everything before and you stop right there, it is the best movie ever. However, now
you want to be the Joker and watch everybody burn.
Stop it. Listen to me. Infinity War.
That's your animal spirit.
You gotta wait Joker. Because I'm trying to get the Instagram post that's gonna get
like you're Indian. No, you should be like your animal spirit should be like the wolf or some shit or the beaver.
I'm trying to listen.
But yours is like I'm the Joker.
I'm trying to get clickbait here, okay? This is with these bold, outlandish statements. This is straight clickbait, okay? But I really do feel this way. Infinity War as a standalone is pretty good. It's about a D to a C-. Infinity War, with everything about Marvel up until that movie and ending with Infinity War is the best comic book superhero movie of all time. Yup, better than The Dark Knight. I said it. It's recorded. Oh, wow. It's being posted. However, it's not the end, is it, Jordan? So now we go to rating number 3, Endgame. And that stupid bullshit, let's go back in time, Stone, and let's just undo Infinity War. And this next movie is going to ruin Infinity War. And that is my prediction about Endgame.
You think that this movie will ruin Infinity War?
Yes.
I don't think so.
Yes. As a standalone piece, it certainly can't, but it wasn't a great standalone piece. It was a good one, a very good one. part of the saga, it will make that movie a waste of time. It will.
Nah, dude. Look, here even if they find some sort of victory, right? It's not going to be 100%. And things are not everything's not going to go back to the way it was. But look, what people like and people love in sports and shows and any kind of media and in real life, people love a comeback story. People love
They're dead.
a second chance.
They're dead.
Well, yeah, Jesus was dead.
Oh, I
Back,
knew you
didn't
were.
he?
I knew you were good.
Ah!
No, Jesus never
listen.
died.
He did too die.
He
What are you talking
transcended
about?
death.
No, he fucking died and was resurrected. Stop.
He was resurrected, but his flesh didn't come back.
He came back as flesh and bone.
No,
What are
he
you
didn't.
talking- Have you ever read the Bible? Dude?
I did just on
Just
Sunday.
Stop right now.
It was
Just- you
Easter.
Just,
Or I didn't
Dude,
actually read it. I didn't read it on Sunday, but I read it the
Jesus
day before.
came back
Actually, I read a
in
little
flesh
bit on
and
Sunday.
blood and showed his hands to all his disciples. Remember?
And he
He showed his
disappeared.
hands.
And
No, he showed his hands with the stake wounds in his hands.
all
to
right,
show
bro.
him.
Because before we both go to hell, let's not compare.
That's how it
Let's
is.
not
If you don't know
compare
that story, that's like
Spider-Man
basic
to
shit.
Jesus Christ. Are you kidding me?
I'm telling you, people can come back.
And,
So-
they happen to. Let's just say it. They don't bring people back, right? Like, they don't bring people. They actually stick to something for once, right?
I think
They
think a lot
actually
of
have
people are gonna come
conclusive
back.
endings, something that no one seems to like anymore. A conclusive ending. And Infinity War, they don't come back. The people that died in Infinity War don't come back. Obviously they ain't gonna kill Robert Downey Jr., are they? That would have been.
We'll see.
That would have been like remarkable for sure. You know what I mean?
Dude, I've heard some kind of mixed shit. I'm not gonna I don't want to think about it because I don't want to ruin my experience when I go see this, But I will say, from everybody's tweets, dude, it sounds like a fucking emotional ass journey, and everybody says also that the third act is the most fandom awesome shit that people were just standing up and cheering and shit. And I know it's there's a
Emotional.
different screening.
I
It's
could use
different
a
screening.
lot of things to describe everything about Marvel. Everything that's great about Marvel. I could just use so many adjectives. The word emotional would only be used if it was preceded by the phrase, "It is not."
Well, okay. I mean, it's more fun. They're 70% fun. Marvel's
Yeah.
fun. That's what was missing from Dark Knight's Nolan.
Oh,
It was awesome, dark, awesome, had real emotions, real stakes, all that shit. But it didn't really have fun, right? You weren't like, oh, this
what are
is
you
fun.
talking about, man? He took down
Dude, it was too
helicopters,
serious. No,
flipped over a
Well,
semi-truck.
That's not fun.
What's the
as
difference
it is
between me
more
and you?
Drama.
I'm not wearing hockey pants. Like, how is that not fun, man?
Okay.
Okay, well,
Come on, man.
the fate of a city and good and evil,
We have
and
a
that's not
5%
fun. The universe is about to die. There's nothing fun about that, man. I just have a jolly old
Well,
time.
in most Marvel movies, there's a lot of fun shit going on. But in this one, they had fun at the beginning, and then they had a no fun zone. And this next one, apparently, the first act is kind of a no fun zone, and then it ends on just a fun. Back to fun. So I think things are going to kind of come back for some people. I think people are going to come back. I don't know how they're going to get it to go, but we'll see how it's all written out, dude. It's a saga.
I'm pretty
that's what's great.
pretty excited to see it, It's just like what an
You're gonna have a good time watching.
Yeah, I mean, look, tomorrow's Friday. Maybe I can get a sitter, get a pizza, just some wings, just eat real bad. Just go in and get one of those reclining seats and, enjoy a chill hour and a half just to fucking just disappear for a minute,
Yeah, dude, it's only an hour and a half. Perfect. You should go to the bathroom before you go in.
Let's talk about it.
Longer.
Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
It's a 3 hour.
I'm not gonna watch it. I'm not gonna watch it.
Come on, man. Lord of the Rings was 3 hours. That was amazing.
I'm not gonna watch it. It's 3 hours.
Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. What was the runtime on that? Let's see real quick. Lord.
Jordan, I'm not gonna watch it, dude.
Why?
It's 3 hours. 3 hours. I'm not gonna watch it, dude. Tom Hanks is not even in the movie. I'm not gonna watch it. Like, look, how many movies were there before this? 18?
263 minutes.
Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? Oh, Lord of the Rings. Well, that one was pretty damn long, too.
But that's badass. Why would you not want more? Okay,
Lord of the Rings is cool though, man. It's got Blind Guardian in it.
Belongs to the end of Abbey.
Hold on.
Goddamn road.
How many Marvel movies?
I want more. Give me more. That was your argument.
All right. So you're telling me that, let's just say there's 18. There might even be 20 Marvel movies at this point. But let's just say there's 18. They average about 2 hours apiece. That's 36 hours in 11 years, man. You still need 3 more hours to tell your story? Like, come on, bro. I know I take forever to get to the point. I know I speak slowly. But 3 hours, dude? Really? Come on, man.
That's not even enough. I feel like I'm going to get jaded. I feel like I'm going to be fuck, man.
But who cares, man? Like,
20 more minutes?
This is not I mean, wow. It's not like it's emotional dialogue and then, all right, give me an hour of explosions. Cool, I'll take it. That's fine. Just go and enjoy that. Look, but come on.
You've had a busy 11 years, you'd say, right? Probably the span of your entire career.
I've worked out and I kind of played video games for the first 7 years.
I think your career probably is 11 years, maybe 12, right?
Officially, I think it's officially 13 years, actually. 12 and a half.
So if I say, hey, Robert, I need you to compile all of those 12, 13 years into a story for me, go ahead and do that. And I need a pretty sufficient amount of information, not just I worked out and I fucking.
All right, the Motley Crue movie was an hour and like 15 minutes, dude.
And it was bullshit. It was like, dude, that's not all that happened.
All right, the Temptations movie was about 4 hours. That was a mini series. All right,
there you go.
That was like 4 hours. That's maybe 5 hours. Everyone, head over to patreon.com/HeyRob. That's patreon.com/HeyRob and sign up so you can take part in my weekly Facebook Live Q&A sessions where I answer your questions about anything from Escape the Fate stuff to advice for being an artist or just things you are always curious about. I will also be doing fan follow-up streams to hear your thoughts about the albums we discuss in the podcast episodes. On the Patreon page, you can also get signed drumsticks, follow backs on social media, and even enter to win grand prizes that I give away every single month. So check it all out at patreon.com/HeyRob. 3 hours is just too long.
Dude, it's 30 minutes more than Affinity Stones. Get over it.
That's a lot of minutes, man.
Affinity Stones felt like 30 minutes.
I got twins, dude.
Leave them at home. Dude, I'm literally going to the drive-in by myself.
I can't. 3 hours.
Like,
3
hours.
3 hours in the Vegas. 3 hours in the Vegas heat. Just sitting there, just wafting in your own stench. And you can't even hear the movie.
Tell my wife that I'm going to change my
Where you going? Are you going to the one next to like the Fiesta in the Texas station? Like,
Yeah.
where it's like you're gonna hear like gunshots, airplanes,
Oh, dude,
ambulances,
they got a
traffic,
helicopter. They literally have a helicopter landing pad right by the movie theater.
helicopters. Oh my gosh, like yeah, no, I if I don't get a recliner theater, I can't do it. So I might actually have to wait about 3 weeks to watch for the sake
That's
of
what's up.
reviewing
Is
it.
you
For the sake of
just
reviewing it, I'm gonna go watch it tomorrow, but I might just consider just waiting a few weeks till it dies down at least a little bit. This one will
I doubt
probably
you'll get a
go.
ticket.
Yeah,
That's why I'm not gonna go in the theater because I didn't buy a ticket last month.
yeah, it's crazy, man.
So I
So
mean,
you know what? Since I mean we've already been talking for a while here about this, but um, let's talk about this then, since we're getting to the end of the Marvel universe. Like, there's no more Marvel. Like, they're just gonna just over. It's gonna end. No more comic books. No more movies. Nothing. It's over, right? So now let's go back
I don't
to
think that's the case.
let's go and let's start ranking. Like, what are like your favorite ones and least favorite ones?
Well, damn, I don't have them all in front of me, but I mean, if I had to just say top five, I would say In Games one. I
You
would
haven't
say
seen it.
no, I meant not In Game. I'm sorry to say. I meant to say Infinity Stone.
Infinity War.
Infinity Stone is one for me.
Infinity War.
Infinity War. Um,
Mm.
two is probably two is probably Iron Man one. Man, so good.
Mm.
Just started it. It's a fun. That's fun. That's a fun movie. You know, he's this. He sells tech to the governments for complete war and everything. He learns firsthand what he's doing. He makes a robot, saves his own life, and then at the very end, everybody consults with him, and says, "Okay, just go out and just say whatever, and don't mention Iron Man or whatever." And he's like, "Yeah, fuck it, I'm Iron Man. Fuck all you." Just like it's perfect, dude. He's just like he's the perfect Iron Man. He's what started. Robert Downey Jr. is a fucking badass, and that's like what launched the whole thing. Is his take on Iron Man. Iron Man's not Superman or Batman. No kids like 10 years ago would be like, "Oh, I like Iron Man." Fucking nobody. He's a sidekick.
Oh, yeah.
And dude, they made him the
Yeah.
fucking dude.
And you know what's crazy is
So that's
I
cool.
have the same problem with Marvel and Avengers that I do with the X-Men thing, is they made too much of a secondary character. To me, Iron Man is still the secondary character. It has the best actor of all of the actors in the universe of it, but like Wolverine was just not that guy. Like, I mean, come on, you were dealing with the Phoenix and like Storm and but it's like, yeah, let's just give it to Wolverine. He's got some claws and he's kind of old, and like Iron Man, it's like you're Robot Man versus God. I mean, come on, man. Like, come on. Come on. That's I don't like it. I don't like it. So what else? So those are your top two. What else?
Those are my top two. I think I really fucking was super impressed with how the comedy really came out in Thor Ragnar. I thought that shit was just perfect. It was funny. It was fun. Had a great the female lead was awesome. She's a badass character. It was even the Batgirl, his sister Helena was gnarly, and it was cool. It like set everything up. Well,
Never
okay,
seen
hold
it.
on.
Never seen
That's gonna. You never seen Thor Ragnar?
Never seen it.
That one's so good.
I'm
gonna drop that.
Is that
down
one where
2
he has?
slots.
Does he have short hair in it?
Yes.
Yeah, I
He
saw
fights.
it. It sucks.
He fights Hulk.
Yeah, it sucks.
So listen,
Here we go again.
I'm sorry. I need to drop that down 2 slots to make way for Guardians of the fucking Galaxies number 1 and 2. Hands down, that's probably the best. I mean, every character kills it. Every character kills it, and it's a rarity that they all like click. And you're seeing a pattern. How I like Avengers is that, like, I mean, dude, they're fun. They're it's a new fun comedy. Like they make it funny and cool, and it just, it's very easy. That's why Affinity Wars was so heavy and you just out of the left field, because it left you like, whoa, there's stakes now. I didn't think there was gonna be stakes in this shit.
Yeah, we'll see if there really are stakes. There might be. We'll
So
see.
I would give you Iron Man, the Guardians, Thor Ragnar, and then
Listen.
I like Civil War.
What?
So I like scenes from Civil War. No, you know what? Take that back. I'm gonna say Spider-Man: Homecoming. Spider-Man: Homecoming took me a second watch to appreciate, but it really is great.
Wait, so all right, so I mean, you've had your say. As a standalone, I do not love Avengers: Infinity War the most. As a piece of the collective, if it ends there and there's no movies after it, period. If it just ends.
Like, there's a movie coming out tomorrow. So
okay, then I don't like it. Then that movie's not even in the top 10. I love Guardians. I agree with you. I absolutely love that movie. It's so dope. Down to the soundtrack. It's so sick. I love Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't like Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Iron Man was cool, but it just felt like it was a lot of his just building towards just this like, I don't know. I mean, Rocky was really slow, and it had like a only 5 to 10 minute scene of actual fighting at the end. This was, I guess, built like that, except it wasn't like emotional in the same way. It was a lot about him building the suit and that kind of thing, and it was cool, but I didn't like it like that. Like, I didn't really enjoy it that much. I kind of left the theater going, yeah, I don't know about that one. But I love Guardians of the Galaxy, and I love the first Avengers. Other than that, that's it. I really don't like any other Marvel movies. And I've seen like 10 or 12 of them. I love Infinity War as a collective piece, but now you just said there is one after it, so now I don't like it.
Why didn't you like Thor Ragnar, where he fights Hulk? That shit was fun.
His superpower is God. Like, it's stupid. Yeah, I don't like it.
He still gets his ass kicked by Hulk.
Oh, come on.
He's a demigod. He's a demigod.
Man.
He's not a god. He's not
God.
God.
Wait, stop. First of all, where is the dude from Fight Club? Like, come on. Like,
dude, Edward Norton.
Where's Edward Norton?
He ruined it.
He ruined it.
Mark Ruffalo, Guffalo. He's better.
Come on, man.
Dude, I didn't buy Edward Norton's. The Hulk is one of the movies they don't like to include because it sucked so much.
The whole point is the Hulk is that he's completely uncontrollable and then just rampage. He just gets angry and he's learned to control his anger and use it. Like, come on, man. Then it's just like, oh, you've learned how to not be the Hulk, but be the Hulk. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I liked a lot of these movies. I didn't love but 2 of them, but I really, though, to be honest, and you're the one who wanted me to do this anyway, so you guys call me the hater, but I was asked to do this, so we're having a discussion and I'm sharing my opinions. I absolutely, I'll say it one more time. I love Guardians of the Galaxy. Think it's amazing. Loved the first Avengers. I'll tell you which ones I absolutely despise, though. Well, I didn't like Black Panther. I wasn't into it. But Civil War, oh my gosh, that has to be That's might be the worst movie I've ever seen. And in terms of hype building and the amount of, it cost me a lot of money to take the Uber there. It was late and I had to wait like 30 minutes in a small town where there was no other Ubers around and it was cold. And given everything surrounding it for that bad of a movie, oh man, I didn't like any. Oh, I love Ant-Man though. I do like Ant-Man a lot.
Yeah,
But
that's good.
yeah, Civil War was horrendous.
I thought you said you hated Ant-Man.
No, I liked Ant-Man. I hated Ant-Man in Civil War. Cuz it's just
Okay.
like that movie has literally no.
When he grew up to a big ass giant, that shit's
It
awesome.
was cute. Don't get me wrong. It was fun. But come on, man. It's just like this is what Marvel's thinking. They're sitting there scratching their chins and they're just like, how can we make $2 more billion? I know. Let's just get all the characters together, not have any plot, and let's just send them to LAX and play grab ass. Like, no, that's not a movie. Like, that's not a movie, dude. It's not. It's
Was
not a
it
movie.
not fun? Did you not get a big shit-eating grin? I got
No.
the biggest shit-eating
I
grin.
was mad the whole time.
When Spider-Man said, "Where are you from? Brooklyn?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm from Manhattan." Like, dude, that shit is like the interaction with Spider-Man calling him Mr. Stark the whole time. Like, and then you see Aunt May, and Aunt May's a different Aunt May than we've all seen. Like the whole thing about new Spider-Man came into that movie, and like, dude, it was like, oh my god, that's the best Spider-Man we've ever had. And he
What are
still
you
only got like
talking about?
20 minutes. Dude, he's
They
way
wasn't
better
even
than
like
Tobey-
in the
than
movie
Tobey
barely.
Maguire.
He was barely
I
even
know,
in the
but-
movie.
But look how big of a statement it was with just him barely in there.
It
It just shows
wasn't.
you like, holy shit, this is the best Spider-Man ever.
No,
And I've only
no.
seen 30 minutes of him.
No, he didn't even get
Yes.
30 minutes. He literally just kind of was there for a second,
Left,
and then
left
they
ain't
all,
want any more.
and then you had all the characters in LAX playing grab ass. Like that's
Who's Stan Lee's favorite character of all time?
Heath Ledger's the
Spider-Man.
Joker. What?
Stan Lee?
Yeah,
Stanley's
Heath
favorite
Ledger's
character.
rendition of the Joker. Clearly,
Okay. Wow. Stan Lee's favorite character, like, hands down, it's a fact everybody knows. His baby is Spider-Man.
whoa,
and
whoa,
they finally
whoa.
got it right.
So you're telling me that Stanley has never watched The Dark Knight?
Stan Lee probably doesn't give a flying fuck about the Dark Knight because he's Stan goddamn Lee.
Okay.
Too busy making shit.
All right. Well, then that's fine. I mean, he can go watch Spider-Man. You know,
He wrote Spider-Man.
That's-
He created Spider-Man.
that's fine, I guess. I mean,
I
I wrote a lot of songs, Jordan, but it ain't Hey Jude. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, Stan Lee. I mean, come on, he's brought joy to millions. What can I say? You know, and he still comes out in his own movies and he has fun with it. His autographs ain't even worth a whole heck of a lot
And
because
Civil
he's
War
always
has the
down to
best
sign him.
cameo. He says, "Is this Tony Stank?" You know. That's the thing.
Civil
too.
War
Here's-
Civil War wasn't a movie, dude. It wasn't. There was no story. There was no. It was just literally, let's see how many of these characters we can put together. Like that's not even like a thing, dude. Like I don't know, man. I don't know. See, my brother-in-law said one thing once. He goes, "You know why Justice League is the best superhero movie of all time?" I'm like, well, you're out of your freaking mind, first of all. And he
No,
goes,
the
dude,
worst.
you have Batman and you have Superman on the same thing together at the same time. Never been done. Literally, they could just walk on screen, Batman walks on, Superman walks on, they shake hands and walk off and the credits roll. that would be the greatest movie in superhero history ever because of how impactful it was. But that didn't happen, right? You didn't like the movie. That's how I feel about all these Avengers and Civil Wars, and let's compile them all together and do nothing. Unless you're Guardians of the Galaxy and you're sick. So unless you're the first Avengers, then you're sick.
Perfect example. You have Justice League, you have Avengers. Okay, the Avengers took what they have, all these characters, and wrote them perfectly together, interacting, and put all those weird nuances and all that stuff and edited it together perfectly. And Justice League did exactly the opposite and made it a fucking train wreck mess. Like, it's the worst fucking piece. I never, ever gotten through watching it one time, and I've tried watching it like 6 times. I've never gotten through the whole time. And the first time I watched it, he has a beard in the fucking movie because he didn't want to shave for another role he's doing. So they CGI'd out his big stash, and it looks super stupid. Like, it's super noticeable. I couldn't even get past 10 minutes. So I couldn't even get past the first 10 minutes when I watched. Oh, dude, look at his face.
I'm not defending the movie. I don't like the movie.
CGI. He couldn't shave his goddamn goat.
How you feel about that is how I feel about, like, everything else. Like, so you're telling me, like, you have an issue with that, but the Thor and Loki character couldn't get more creative with an accent or create a new language for whatever distant planet they're from. But you have a problem with a dude in a mustache, really? That's your big gripe?
Yeah.
Really? Wow. The talking raccoon is not an issue, but all right. Yeah, the guy's got a mustache. Fuck him. Fuck him. Fuck him. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
he didn't have a mustache. He CGI'd his face. Dude, that shit is just like.
They CGI'd the raccoon. It wasn't a real raccoon.
Yeah, well, it looked fucking realer than his goddamn
mustache cover. Really? Really? The raccoon looked like a real raccoon.
Okay, let me just say one thing. Gal Gadot couldn't save the fucking movie. And Gal Gadot is a motherfucking angel sent to this earth. Like, Jesus.
Didn't like Wonder Woman. I like the part where she's like trying to dress.
You didn't like Wonder Woman?
Absolutely
like the real,
not. I thought it was terrible.
Movie?
I thought it was terrible. Dude. But it was really cool when she was trying to get dressed and she found like normal street clothes, but still carried her shield and her sword around with her. Other than that, I didn't like that movie. As soon as like I saw some kind of slow motion front flip, and I was like, oh man, I'm out.
They always do that.
Why are you making me just be a giant hater? I was just like, I don't like these movies, man. I don't. But I still watch them because everyone tells me how great they are.
That is like water to a man in the desert dying. Like, how could you not like her?
I understand you're talking about how attractive she is, and sure, that's fine. But I mean, I want to watch a movie.
Like, it's true. She's like 100 out of 10. But to be honest, it's not even about that. It is about that. But it's more about that her character was sick. Like, her character was fucking the best female lead we've had in a long time, for sure.
I don't know.
Definitely better than fucking Brianna, whatever the goddamn dude. Here's my only beef now with the new movie is I watched Captain Marvel, man, and I liked a lot of the movie. The side characters were actually hella awesome, but that Brie girl, who's like a good actress, she sucks as Captain Marvel. She's boring as hell. She's like a stand-in, like one of those, cardboard cutouts. She's literally like a cardboard cutout. She kind of stands there, and then occasionally CGI she'll fly around.
Well, that's why you do got to give Robert Downey Jr. a lot of credit for the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe, because he's the only guy, the only actor in the whole entire thing that like it's just so natural. He's just a star. You know what I mean? Actually, no, I take that back because Chris Pratt is great
Chris
too,
Pratt
man.
came out strong.
He's
Chris
great.
Hemsworth needed a few
Nah,
movies to get. His first couple movies sucked. He sucked as Thor, but
he-
now his character of Thor is on point.
yeah. I mean, I don't know.
It took him four movies.
I didn't like it even after four. I mean, but that's the thing is that you'll watch four whole movies and be like, all right, he's gonna get. I don't know, man. It's like I can't do that, dude. Same as Game of Thrones. I'm like, all right, it's been 8 seasons. Like, really? Like, I don't I don't believe you anymore. I just don't. Uh, but yeah, I mean, with that said, I mean, we could end it here pretty soon. But yeah, obviously, I have a good time picking on these movies.
So what's your predictions? What do you
Uh,
think is gonna happen when you watch this movie?
I'm gonna fall asleep. And I'm just never
You
gonna actually
fucking
watch
will.
it. And
You
I'm never
literally
actually
fall
gonna
asleep.
watch
You're
it.
like, oh, I just fell asleep.
I watched Star Wars Episode 7, theaters, like when it had kind of recently had come out, and yeah, I fell asleep in the theater, and it was literally like noon. I fell asleep. Like it wasn't even like night, way past my early bedtime that I always have. It's no, it was like noon, and I passed out. And I saw like parts of it. I was like, oh yeah, I'm out. I'm not into this. But it was such a good nap. That was worth $12 for sure. Um,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, I probably won't actually end up watching because I literally will fall asleep. So, what will happen? I bet you that back in
Is that
time.
a fart?
No, I'm rubbing my foot against this
Oh.
desk. You see it? You hear it? See, I can do
I thought
it
you were gonna
repeatedly.
pull up Max.
He's he who denied it supplied it. No,
Yeah.
it's my toe on the desk. Uh, but anyways, yeah, I feel like that back in time scenario is gonna happen. I believe a resurrection scenario will happen. I believe they will kill off Robert Downey Jr. And I do believe they defeat Thanos.
Why do you think that?
I
You've been
think
hearing stuff online.
I have not because I'm just not into it like that. The only thing I've done to prepare for this in any way is try to watch the original Guardians of the Galaxy because we were originally just going to review that. Like go back and talk about how it started. There's a 10-minute preview on YouTube. Outside of that, I basically am completely off social media and the internet. The only website I go to is ESPN. And so I watch First Take on there and Golic and Wingo. Other than that, I'm not reading or seeing or listening, and I have no concept. But I do believe Robert Downey Jr. will die because I think it's time. I think he's made plenty of money, and I think he's probably just doesn't want to do it anymore, man. And it's just like he's good. Like let the story end and actually have some closure. And maybe Marvel will have the actual gall, the intestinal fortitude to actually end the entire all of Marvel series. Like
Well,
how insane would that be?
The actor for Captain America, I forgot his name. I think it's Chris Lee or something. He is done after this movie, so I'm pretty sure his character goes out too.
I mean, I mean, Edward Norton, he was once the Hulk, and he was done, and they still.
Yeah, but they're not gonna pull that. I think Edward Norton was actually the Hulk for real because I heard that he's a horrible person to deal with on set. So
No. I mean, I think he's a great actor. So, but either way, though, man, like I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I actually am looking forward to it, just because the ending of Infinity War was so just crazy out there that they're not gonna let it hang like that. So the little cliffhanger there has got me hooked. I don't know that it's $10 worth going to see the movie, but I will just, as a nice night out, and we'll have something to argue and talk about and all that kind of stuff. But I think they'll do it right, man. I think they'll actually make it worth it. It probably will be a little too long. It'll probably drag a little bit, but then it'll pay off at the end, as you like to say. We'll have a payoff, and I think they defeat Thanos. I think they somehow get the stone. Who knows? There's the Doctor Strange. Like, where did that guy come from? He was just suddenly in Infinity War out of nowhere, and he's gonna have some kind of back in time everything, and it's gonna happen. That's my prediction. Hope I'm wrong, man. Would that be great if I was wrong?
I think if they go back in time, they're gonna undo some of their old movies and change the timeline of shit. That's gonna kind of be crazy. And I don't
what if
know
they brought back Edward Norton?
No, I think Captain America is gonna not live forever. I think his character goes back in time and actually does like a self-sacrifice where he just dies normally, and he meets that girl that he was trying to meet up with for a dance. I think that has something to play with it.
How cool would it be? How cool would it be if they went back in time, brought back Tobey Maguire, brought back Edward Norton,
or back a T-Rex.
Oh man, that'd be amazing. That'd be amazing. So yeah, but
here's one more thing that people are saying online a long time ago, not now, but that Ant-Man can get so little that he can go into the quantum whatever. But that Ant-Man would actually just jump inside Thanos' asshole and then blow up. So that was a fan theory.
I guess I am gonna preface this entire video with explicit language. Yeah.
But we are gonna also talk about one last thing. Is that today in an argument with me to try to win a really dumb argument, you said, well, how you judge things is you watch or listen to something and then you wait years before making an opinion. So we're not going to have another video for 10 years from now.
Bro, I'll tell you why though.
Years.
No. You know what that's based on though?
The biggest bullshit
to
thing.
Be honest,
I've seen you do some weird things to win arguments or attempt to, but that one was like, what?
All right, first of all, there's some merit. There's some merit to that mindset.
It takes years.
I'll tell you what it is because for one, some of the music in films that we discuss, I watched or listened to as a child. And years later, I'll go rewatch, re-listen, and I'm like, wow, what was I thinking? Either A, that's amazing, or B, that's terrible. Like, so some of them hold the test of time despite being children's movies. So like there's so many movies that my kids watch now that I'm like, man, these are so good. Like, how do they put these, like the Pixar movies and all that, how do they put them together, man? And then I see Star Wars. I'm like, where did these guys go? Why does this fan base exist? I don't get what they like. I don't even like this. Like, what? And I don't know. Some albums, all those things, they stand the test of time. So I'm just sometimes I gotta let it breathe. I like to have a laminated list. These are my top 5s of every category and subject ever discussed. And in a year, we're gonna revisit it. So right now, I don't know. We're going to watch Endgame, and then we're going to have to let it soak in for a minute. Maybe I am a slow learner, Jordan. Maybe it takes me a while to absorb information. Because one of my top 3 favorite movies ever, top 3 now because there's another one that came in recently, I didn't like at first. Two of the top 3 favorite movies I did not like at first. That being Good Will Hunting and The Dark Knight. I did not like them at first. I really didn't.
You didn't like Dark Knight at first?
Nope. I really didn't. I saw it in theaters. Dude. It was so long. And I didn't even feel like everyone was talking about the Joker. He's barely in the movie. Like, it was a long-ass movie. And then I left there with like, yeah, but he was good when he was on the screen. Wow. And then I just kept thinking, like, man, well, I got to watch this again. And I watched it again because it was so captivating, and then again because he was so captivating, and then the story finally clicked, and it was like, oh my gosh, this is wow. Not only is he great, but this entire huge story of this entire mob and crime, yeah, it all came together and it clicked. Which kind of how Infinity War was for me. Like, wow, like all that came together for that. That's insane. So sometimes it takes me a while, man. It really does. But I don't like to get too excited. Game of Thrones, on the other hand, sorry, dude. Hasn't happened. Hasn't happened yet. But anyways,
right.
man. All right, well, I'm over it. I'm done. I don't know if you want to say any last things or anything.
Well, we'll see what happens, man. We're gonna have to pick this up and give reviews and shit. I'm literally seeing it tomorrow night though, and then I'm gonna try to see this 3 times while it's in theaters, because I might need some moments to absorb it. When the last one came out, just so you know, I watched it 2 times in a row at the drive-in. So I was there like fucking 6 hours.
Yeah, I was no way.
And because I came in and like the showing I was at, like I didn't know the time. I thought, well, I read it wrong on the internet or something. So I missed like the first hour.
Wow.
So instead of like not watching, like just leaving after watching an hour's worth out, I just stayed and watched the second running, and I needed it. I needed to see that ending one more fucking time just to know that happened.
Wow.
And but it's one of those. This definitely, I could tell they put so much time and thought and effort, and blood, sweat, and tears into this, and they're super passionate about it, and I love that. So we're gonna find something good about it, and it might take you sleeping on it. It might take like you watch it and a couple days pass, and it just kind of stills in your head, where you actually like, oh fuck, I totally love it.
Wow. Yeah, I mean,
might be one of those.
I don't know. We'll see. I'm not as emotionally invested, so I don't know that if certain characters are killed off or whatever. Like, I don't think that it would have that type of impact on me. I mean, I like a story and I like it to be done.
Can I also give my prediction for you?
Oh,
Even
man.
though you're a heartless piece of shit, I bet you cry. That's my prediction.
I legit doubt it.
You have to 100% admit, if you cry, even tear up, like,
dude. Here's what you don't.
If water happens around your eyes,
I cried when Tiger Woods hugged his son, and then they showed the replay of him hugging his dad in the same spot. Like, man, the way that guy's life came around, that was insane. I cried when the Niners, they finally went to the Super Bowl. I cried when Alex Smith threw the touchdown pass to Vernon Davis to win the divisional round of the playoffs in the insane game. I cried I cried when Philip Phillips won American Idol. All right.
Okay,
I cried.
That's pretty good.
I cried when Paul McCartney played "Hey Jude" and I was there.
Oh well, that's a given.
I cried.
When Rudy's dad claps, you cry.
I cried.
It's a sports movement.
3 times watching Good Will Hunting. I cried 3 times. Every time, what's his name was on the screen. When Robin Williams was on screen, I cried. But I also cried when it was he's having the fight with his girlfriend. Matt Damon, and oh man, that I cried several times. I cried in Forrest Gump. If I cry on this, I certainly will not be ashamed to share, as I am sharing all of these. If I love it that much, if it hits me that much, have you not seen that I am just like completely devoted to things when I like them, and they become obsession to where I talk about them for years and years and years? If it has that impact, you can guarantee I will be talking about it for years and years and years and years. But if it doesn't, I'm just not gonna happen. I'm not gonna lie if it does. You know what I mean? The proof speaks with my history of art and discussion about said art. All right, man. All right, well, that's it then, dude. I'm done. We'll try to get this edited and be up tomorrow.
Awesome. All right.
All right.
I'm out.
hitting
Peace,
stop.
everybody.
Peace.